Welcome to the Hardcore Craftlocked Challenge Episode 9, where we are trying to answer the question, can you beat Guild Wars 2's classic campaign without dying with only crafted gear? This is Trust Issues. Trust is a goblin who is convinced that anything not made by him is absolute trash. Either he makes it, or he breaks it. We pick back up in Metrica Province right after having beaten the Fire Elemental. I use my Wizard Vault points to get all the additional bags of gold that I can to give us a bit more money to work with, putting us up to 20 gold coins. I need to level up my weapon and jewel crafting. In terms of stats, I'd get more from leveling the weapon than one piece of jewelry, but if I level jewel crafting, I have 5 equipment slots that would benefit from that, so I feel like that is the more important thing at the moment. I swap over to Time Issues, our jewel crafter, to see what we have to work with. Logging in, I see that we are at 217 skill and we need 225 for the next tier of stuff. Now, so far, cooking and jewel crafting have been much more of a pain in the backside than the other trade skills, as they mostly get experience by using discovered recipes. For the first time in this challenge, I pull up a guide using GW2 Craft's jewel crafting section for some assistance on how to more efficiently level up this skill without wasting so much gold. Find a recipe in the guide for Carnelian Gold Earrings Master Tier and get the materials from the trading post that I'm missing. I slammed together a few of these and realized that if it wasn't for the Wizard Vault, I would be completely out of money now, so shout out to the wizards. A dozen Carnelian earrings later, we pass 225 skill and I can use platinum. I have some and buy more from the trading post along with some emerald shards. Head back to the station and process all the platinum, use these to make hooks and settings, and discover the emerald platinum earring. I realize I bought the wrong kind of emerald. I correct that mistake and also pick up some opals for the next step. Grab this stuff from the trading post and try again. Now make a bunch of emerald earrings, pushing us over 250. Wow, this is so much easier than fumbling around like I was before. Next, make a bunch of platinum filigrees and discover the ornate opal jewel recipe from the vendor next to me and make a bunch of them. Next, we needed the embellished ornate opal jewel recipe. This one took me a minute to find. It was actually on a nearby merchant. I grab it and make a bunch of these, pushing us over 300 skill and unlocking the use of mithril. I take all the mithril I have and buy some more, along with some crystals. Grab those from the trading post and start processing the mithril ingots. Then make some mithril hooks, settings, and filigrees. Then use those to make a bunch of brilliant emerald jewels, pushing us over 350. My bag hits full, so I salvage some creations to get some space back. I then craft emerald mithril earrings one at a time until I hit skill 375. I run out of salvage kits, so go pick up a few more from the general merchant. Next up, I need to discover and make an emerald mithril earring. I need an embellished brilliant emerald jewel, which we found the recipe for on the Karma Merchant. This recipe requires ectos, so I get a few off the trading post. Make the embellished brilliant emerald jewel, and I then combine them with the mithril hook and setting to make an emerald mithril earring, bringing us to skill 392. The next thing on the guide I'm using needs azurite crystals, but they are not purchasable on the trading post by free-to-play players. So instead of that, I just buy the mats I'm missing and make a second one of the earrings I just made. They are level 80, so I can use them on Trust Issues. The creation of the second earring pushed us to max jewel crafting. And if I use these 2 earrings on Trust, I will need rings and a necklace, so I grab some more emerald crystals and ectos and do the same recipe but with bands and a chain this time. The end result is we have crafted a full set of level 80 jewelry for Trust Issues. Very happy to have this step behind me. I swap over to Trust and head to the Radasum Bank. I accidentally eat a nearby cake someone left out, nearly dying from poisonous, untrustworthy cooking. I eat a loaf of trusty bread to wash it down. I pull the gifts from Sis out of the bank and equip them all, then salvage my old gear that was just replaced. Afterward, I realize I have level 80 armor and jewelry, so Huntsman is the only thing left. I pull up an online guide for Huntsman to see what the easiest way is to level it up further with my remaining coin. I find a free-to-play friendly Huntsman guide, and it says to make some Berserker's Hard inscriptions. Someone in chat asked me why I'm using vials of other people's blood instead of my own due to trust issues, which sets off a lot of alarm bells. We then use the inscriptions and make a bunch of hardwood warhorns. This pushes us over 275, and I have to buy some lumps of primordium from the merchant, some platinum ore and hardwood logs from the trading post. We're down to 5 gold now. We were at 20 earlier, and so we are using it up fast for this. Next up, I need to make 9 dark steel plated inscriptions. Due to this, I had to buy a bunch of thick blood to absolutely slather these inscriptions with. I make a warhorn, and at this point I'm not confident I can get to the next threshold with my remaining funds. I craft a hardwood longbow, which is 5 item levels higher than what I have and a nice jump in damage. I use the remaining inscriptions to make a harpoon gun and more warhorns for skill, pushing us up to skill 300 and upgrading our underwater weapon. Although I can now upgrade the weapons again, I'm down to 1 gold and have to stop here. Or do I? Apparently, I've earned some more AA without realizing it, allowing me to get 10 more gold. I use it to purchase a bunch of mithril ore and elder wood. I pick it up from the TP and process all of it into ingots and planks, then make a bunch of weapon components and push over 325. With those components, I then combine them with inscriptions to jump from 325 all the way to 350. We hit a snag partway there with some discrepancies on GW2 crafts, but we made a few extra items to get past it. I want to be violent, so I decide to make a longbow and a harpoon gun for skill 350 and then take a break from this. I make an elder wood version of both weapons, jumping our weapons gear levels from 60 all the way up to 80. It's not high quality gear, but it is max level. The next step of the quest requires me to meet Traherne and Concordia. I don't remember where that is, so I just start following the green marker, to Lion's Arch, then to Holdbrack, and then south into Dredgehaunt Cliffs. I run the long trek through the zone. I'll skim over this part as not much happened here aside from gathering resources I ran past and eventually entered Timberline Falls. We head south toward the marker and stumble upon a juvenile white wolf. We steal him from his parents, name him Mushluck, and yeet him into the stables. I near our target location and find an absolutely wrecked fort. I enter the story mission and everything is fine now. Huh. Foreshadowing. A guard gives me their condolences.
And, as I said before, my condolences on Tybalt.
Tybalt, no! And we meet up with Traherne. He says what we're doing here, but I wasn't really paying attention. I follow him and bring the violence. We start getting hit with waves of undead attackers and we mow them down. I get clocked once, eating a hit in 4 conditions, reminding me to back off and stay careful, but I'm otherwise okay. We eventually take down a few veteran mobs and break into a nearby cavern. Someone in chat asks where all the weird sound effects come from during the streams, and I explain that one of our Patreon tiers that supports this channel comes with the ability to upload a sound of your choosing that you can play once per stream at any moment you wish, as long as it isn't too naughty. #ad. After fighting through the cave system, we end up at a dead end. Traherne says he can get us out with his necromancy and to buy him some time. 0.1 seconds later, apparently I have bought him enough time. And he summons 2 Shadow Fiends and 5 Elite Flesh Golems. Bro, why have you been holding back? With the help of his horde, we start blasting our way out through the cave system, eventually breaking back outside and running into one of Zaitan's biggest fans, who tries to repeatedly sell us into the Spooky Boys pyramid scheme. We shut him down, grab some rewards, salvage most of them, and head out. Back outside, I see a nearby hero point and head over there. I interact with the chest on the ground, and treasure hunter Gilbert spawns to try and take my goodies. We drop him without much effort and earn ourselves another hero point. Continuing southward, we find a small camp that I know by heart, the prep area for the Tequatl meta. I grab the waypoint and start killing nearby undead for the heart marker. The next step of my story, Tower Down, is here, so I put the heart on pause and hop into it. Our mission is to defend these NPCs while they set out on a demolitionist mission. I love explosions. Let's do this. We push through undead territory and make our way to an undead tower. And before you ask, no, I'm not really sure how that works. Our NPC friend places explosives around the tower and we cover him while he prepares the detonators. Finally it falls and we head into a cave system that heads into the direction of the second tower that we see in the distance. We carve our way to the next tower and take it down in the same method. Many more mobs show up, including some undead crate, but with so much bait to hold the enemy's attention, with the teamwork of me and my companions, we easily make quick work of them and flatten the remaining tower. We are given a choice for our next mission, and I choose to steal something from the Inquest. Because what's better than hurting Zaitan? Robbing the Inquest at the same time. That's what. Back outside in the open world, I make my way to the next green quest marker. I skip most of the hearts and time-consuming tasks, but I do grab the waypoints and collectible materials. I reach the destination and zone in, and promptly step on a landmine, giving me a scare and clenching my chair in half. Head to the Inquest laboratory. Oh my god! I heal, then hit a second one, then understand the visuals where they are located. I make sure to move around in between the next few. Unfortunately, they have a larger trigger radius than anticipated, and I set off 2 at once, letting out a fierce war cry. Alright, that is the lowest I've ever gotten on this character. The following area isn't nearly as scary as the minefield, and I simply have to fight my way through hordes of Inquest, which feels far safer by comparison. We reach the deepest part of their base, and I find bombs that we intend to steal. Our companion cracks a few jokes, we take what we need and blow up the rest, and then fight our way out. We get a few bags of loot for our trouble and exit back into Mount Maelstrom. We swim east and find a base with an underwater entrance and grab the waypoint. It has a jump pad to exit, but it doesn't let you use it unless you have glider basics. I guess I should be grateful it didn't yeet me, and then I find out I don't have gliding and splat somewhere. We start the next mission where we intend to use the stolen bombs to break one of Zaitan's dead ships in the water. One problem, the water is quite occupied. Oh. I carefully make my way around and between the underwater mines, fighting numerous undead sharks and the like as we go. I'm remembering the large explosive radius from the mines I hit previously, and I'm quite nervous through this. Our companion sets the bomb, and we're told to get away and regroup at the detonator. At this point, I'm wishing I had made a level 1 spear just for the underwater charge skill to get away from this area more quickly. We reach the detonator, and it doesn't work. Something's wrong. Tan has to run back to repair the explosives, but the undead know something's up. We have to defend the detonator while he works. Lots of undead crates start pouring out of the water, but compared to the minefield, this isn't nearly as scary. We defend wave after wave until finally we're told that a signal flare is visible and we have to hit the charges now. We do so and are greeted with a fantastic sight of the ship getting blown to smithereens, but there's no sign of Tan. We swim back through the mines a third time, why couldn't these have blown up too? And find Tan's body. He didn't make it. Well, I'm sure Zaitan will bring him back, right? He'll be fine.
See? Red! Oh, wait, that's blood.
We collect our reward and head out. Managed to get an ecto while salvaging the rewards with a poor quality salvage kit. Lucky. I head southwest, past a waypoint and into the Straits of Devastation. It's a short walk to reach Fort Trinity for the next step of our story. We report to Traherne, who is trying to find out why the Asura gates aren't online yet as they need reinforcements. We're sent to check on the lumberers who are supposed to bring in more timber but have not reported in. While checking where they were last seen, we are, of course, attacked by the undead. I wish Traherne would just summon his personal undead army, as it would make this a lot easier, but I guess he's holding back on us. Turning back from the lumber camp, we see the fort is under attack. We fight off a few waves of undead hitting the gate, and suddenly the rumbling from Attack on Titan begins. PTSD from Harvest Temple hits me, and I'm like, you know what, this quest doesn't say I have to fight those, and I fall back into the fort. Alerts sound at the docks, and undead begin swarming out of the water. We defend the shoreline until the water erupts and one of Zaitan's dead ships emerges from the depths and begins firing dudes at us. We hold the position wishing the cannons would actually do something until finally an undead dragon flies overhead and somehow destroys them. I guess they'll never do anything now. We fall back, a large gate is sealed and we're tasked with closing an underwater gate to keep the undead from getting in through there. Really cool looking gate, by the way. We need to access the city section with the Asura gates, but the gate was sealed by Mesmer infiltrators. I knew we couldn't trust Mesmers. We take some bombs made by Tan, rest in peace, and blow the gate open and put down the infiltrators before they can shut the gates down. Reinforcements arrive, and we take back the city center of the fort and push back into the docks. They are absolutely full of undead now, and we join with reinforcements to start cutting our way through while epic music plays. Just as I'm starting to wonder if we're going to actually use any of the cannons in the fort, a cutscene plays showing the battle in epic pastel colors, and the cannons actually fire in it. Yay! The fort is ours, but a nasty silhouette of a dragon rises at the end. All in all, a fun mission, but not a dangerous one, and landmines on the previous mission scared me more. We head to the next quest marker, grabbing the local waypoint and a few resources from heading into a sad duty. We find a camp overrun with the undead, help them clear the area, and escort the camp medic while they begin to triage the wounded. After treating them, she finds out that we worked with Tan when he died, and she was Tan's wife. Oh boy. Overcome with emotion, she runs away and is instantly swarmed by the enemy. We save her and she sends us away.
What do you know about him or me? Just leave me alone.
Trust issues has evolved into emotional issues. I mean, his corpse is still fresh, maybe we can put him in a golem. If only they gave me the option. We head back to the keep and listen to a stirring speech from Traherne. We speak with him one-on-one after the crowd leaves and he gives us a long speech about how Tan's wife will get over it. I'm not sure why he's giving us the pep talk instead of her.
He chose a dangerous profession, but he knew the risks and accepted them.
Why are you trying to convince me? Go tell her this. He then introduces us to a friend of his with blue thighs. She probably had a name, but I had one of those Neuron activation moments and I don't remember anything else they said. We are sent to meet Saya, oh that's her name, at the Cathedral of the Hidden Depths. This one's out in the ocean, so we have to take a long swim to get there. I enter the quest area and find her underwater. I still don't have a rebreather, so I guess we're holding our breath again. Luckily, Barbarian can swim and I have a harpoon gun of adequate level for this. We interact with some switches which spawn angry ghosts. After defeating them, new passages open and undead swarm out. Side note, I love the harpoon gun underwater. Just throwing a bunch of angry piranhas at people. One room at a time, we hit switches, defeat ghosts, and put down the undead, until eventually we find a meeting between the mouth and eye of Zhaitan and a risen general. Two of them leave like Bond villains, just assuming we're doomed, and the third one attacks. We put down the general with the power of arrows, bears, and blue thighs, and then the place starts collapsing and we have to run. We escape as the roof is caving in and make it back outside. I get the nearest waypoint so that if I have to come back here, I don't have to do the long swim again. We are then directed to head back and speak with Traherne, who speaks with us briefly and gives us some rewards. He then wants us to meet him at the Blinded Battleground. I find a nearby merchant to grab more salvage kits and tidy the bags up. I head back to the water waypoint, glad I grabbed it, and start swimming south until I reach the shoreline. Grab another waypoint on land and head further south toward the new quest marker. We enter the instance through the looking glass, and the Eye of Zhaitan uses magic to separate me and my companions. Fortunately, me and Barbarian weren't separated, or we might have a major problem. We began searching for our companions, saving them one by one from their attackers, and reviving them when necessary, and getting the band back together. We hit 500 achievement points and get a substantial reward of 1 gold. A massive increase to our funds. After regrouping with everyone, we corner the Eye of Zhaitan and put him down. Honestly, I was expecting more from him, but maybe he used all his mana with the teleport trick. We head back to Fort Trinity and board the airship where they have apparently hooked up the Eye of Zhaitan's corpse to a car battery. They shove a projector through his eye and start projecting the last thing he saw. Do not try this at home, kids. We see a vision of a chest of artifacts being fed to the mouth of Zhaitan, proving that he does eat magic. But then we see another Eye of Zhaitan in the vision which somehow sees us. It flexes and summons risen grubs onto the airship. Haha, I'm in danger. Not sure where these crawled out of, there's no dirt here, but okay then. How did they summon grubs? We're in an airship. Traherne appears and says there are more undead hiding on the ship, hidden by a veil, and dispels it. Suddenly there are wraiths everywhere, and we have to scour the ship. After cleansing the ship, we are given 2 choices for our next mission: cutting off Zhaitan's food supply or punching him in the face. I choose to go face. We wrap up on the airship and clean our bags once again at the nearby merchant. Woo, 2 ectos! We're in the level 80 questline now, so I believe next time either Zhaitan or trust issues will fall in Craftlocked.